Bonjour mes étudiants. Let's get ready for our French 1A final exam review. Okay, for part 1 will be dictation. You'll need to write what exactly what is said in French. Please do not write any English in this portion. Okay, so you can repeat these as much as you need to fill this out for online. Okay, number 1. Il y a 5 pièces dans la maison. So if you wrote Il y a 5 pièces dans la maison, that's what it looks like. Number 2. La famille déjeune dans la salle à manger. So if you wrote this for number 2, La famille déjeune dans la salle à manger. Number 3. Je vais regarder la télé dans la salle de séjour. So for number 3, it looks like this. Je vais regarder la télé dans la salle de séjour. Number 4. La maison n'a pas un grand jardin autour de la maison. So number 4 looks like this. La maison n'a pas un grand jardin autour de la maison. And number 5, elles n'ont pas de sœurs. So for number 5, it looks like this. Elles n'ont pas de sœurs. Okay, just remember this section. I will not be grading over accent marks, but please do try to put them in there. Part 2 will be multiple choice. You'll need to choose the best response to answer these questions or fill in the blank. There will be 10 questions. So for example, on regarde la télé dans, is it A, la salle à manger, B, la salle de séjour, C, la chambre à coucher, or D, la salle de bain? If you said B, la salle de séjour, you would be correct. Part 3 is matching. What you'll need to do here is match each item with the correct statements. There will be 10 of these for questions. So, for example, number 1, we have Il y a une vieille voiture dans le blanc. J'ai un studio au blanc étage. Madame Lefleur parle avec les blancs dans la cour. And il y a un grand jardin, blanc la maison. And for our responses, we have troisième, garage, autour de, and voisin. So go ahead and match these up. For number 1, il y a une vieille voiture dans le blanc. Okay, for number 1 here, we have an old car in the, it would obviously be garage. Number 2, j'ai un studio au blanc étage. So a studio is an apartment, and étage is floor, and so our only answer, our best response here would be troisième, on the 3rd floor. Number 3, Madame Lefleur parle avec les blancs dans la cour. So parle means to speak with, blank in the courtyard. Obviously D, our neighbors, would be our best answer there. And il y a un grand jardin blanc la maison. So there is a big garden blank the house. So autour de, which means around, would be our best answer there. Okay, on to part 4. What you need to do here is choose the best definition for these words. There will be 50 vocabulary words. So, for example, grandma. So is it A, le grand-père, B, la grand-mère, C, le grand-mère, or D, la grand-père? If you said B, la grand-mère, you would be correct. Don't be confused by le grand-mère. That would be masculine, but la grand-mère is feminine. Part 5, we'll be using the verb avoir. You'll need to complete the following sentences with the correct form of avoir, so make sure you know your verb conjugations here. There will be 8 questions. So for example, tu blank, toi sœurs. Is it A, B avant, C, A, or D, A? And the best answer here is D, A, because that is the only conjugation that can go along with tu. Part 6 will be using the verb aller. You'll need to complete the following sentences with our correct form of the verb aller. there will be 8 questions here as well. So for example, il blank regarder la télé. Is it A, vont, B, allons, C, va, or D, va? If you said A, vont, you would be correct because that is the conjugation for aller to go along with il with an S there. Part 7 will be using the verb être. You need to complete the following sentences with the correct form of être. There will be 8 questions here as well. So for example, elle blank intelligent. Is it A, suis, B, some, C, a, or D, a? If you said C, a, you would be correct. That is the only conjugation that can go along with L. Part 8 will be some vrai or faux. You'll need to indicate whether the statement is true or false. Use A for vrai and B for faux. There will be 6 questions in this part here. So for example, un studio est une sorte de petit appartement. That would be A, vrai. A studio is a type of small apartment. Part 9, we'll have a short conversation that you'll need to read and answer questions about using vrai or faux. There will be 6 questions in this portion. There are no examples here because the conversation will be a part of the test. Part 10 will be using beautiful, new or old. What you'll need to do here is fill in the blank with the appropriate form of beautiful, new or old. You'll need to respond using the following list: A beau, B belle, C belle, D beau, E belle, A B nouveau, A C nouvelle, A D nouvelle, A E nouveau, B C nouvelle, B D vieux, B E vieille, C D vieille, or C E vieille. So there will be 7 questions in this portion here, and you'll use that chart there in the top. So for example, son blank appartement. And you have the word nouveau, so you need to pick the correct form of nouveau to go in the blank here. Now, if you said AC nouvelle, you would be correct. The reason being here, son appartement is masculine, but it starts with a vowel, so we have to pick the masculine form that starts with a vowel. For extra help, please see your chart in the textbook for Chapter 4. Part 11, possessive adjectives. You'll need to replace the article in this sentence with the appropriate possessive adjective. Use the following list. So we have A, mon, B, ma, si, me, dit, ton, ita, habite, et si son, et dit ça, et y c'est, B, si notre, B, dit no, B, y votre, C, dit vos, C, y leur, and D, y leur. So there'll be 6 questions here in this part. So for example, we have les classes sont drôles, and you need to replace it with the correct form of my. So if you said mes, si, you would be correct. So mon, ma, or mes, that means my. And if you look at the example here, we have les classes. That lets us know that it's plural. So we need to pick the plural form of my, which is si, mes. Part 12, we'll be reading some more, another short conversation and answering the questions again with vrai or faux. So we'll have 2 short conversations on here for you to read. There will be 6 questions there as well. Part 13, here are the cultural questions that will be on this test. You have 1 point for the following of 1 through 11 and 2 points for 12 through 20. So here are the questions in part 1. Number 1, was an HLM, and what does HLM stand for? 2, if you lived on the 5e étage in France, what level is that here? 3, where did Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI live? 4, how and why were Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI killed? 5, what is Claude Monet's first name? 6, who discovered Martinique? 7. What is the name of the volcano in Martinique? 8. How many people survived the eruption of 1902 in Martinique and why? Number 9. Name 1 famous person from Martinique. 10. Why did Napoleon divorce his first wife? 11. What does BAG stand for? So for numbers 12 through 20, what you need to do here is name 9 famous French people that were presented in class, and you need to write down 1 thing about each of those people that made them famous. Now remember, I have the list of things that were said about each people, and you are supposed to keep that list as well. So we'll go over that in class, though. And finally, our last section, part 14, will be the verb conjugations. What you'll need to do here is conjugate 7 of the following verbs. Please write them in the table that will be on the test. So for here, I would definitely encourage you to practice these verbs. They're all written in the back of the textbook if you need some extra practice. But definitely please do it during this test review section here. So our verbs are, in the present tense, avoir, être, aller, aimer, écouter, and parler. And for the near future, we have aller, avoir, regarder, and danser. So you need to pick a total of 7 out of all of these verbs. Okay, that's our test review for this final exam. Bon chance, everybody. I just want to finish by saying that I've really enjoyed having all of you in class this year, and I look forward to working with you guys in the future in Part B. À tout à l'heure!